Today, we're going to be looking at how funding works at FTMO, how you can get access to their capital, trade with it, and keep 80% of the profits. We'll break down the challenge process, account types, payout structure, and everything you need to know before getting started. So if you're thinking about getting funded, you won't want to miss this. Now, before we dive into today's video, we're going to be doing a giveaway, so make sure you stay tuned to hear exactly how you can enter. Alright, so let's get started. So here's how funding at FTMO actually works. You basically pay to take an evaluation, and you can think of it like proving you can trade responsibly. You can then choose a funding level, for example, 10K, 50K, 100K, etc. Now there's two phases. First, you have to hit a profit target while sticking to their rules, and if you pass that, you get into a second verification phase, which is a bit easier. Now once you clear both, FTMO gives you access to their simulated capital to trade with. Now, here's the best part. You keep 80% of the profits you make. So instead of risking your own money, you're just putting up the challenge fee, proving that you can trade and making money with their capital. And if you stay consistent, they even scale up your account. It's basically a way to trade bigger without needing a huge bankroll up front. Now to make sure we're covering everything, let's take a look at FTMO's firm page on Prop for Match. So let's dive right in. As for what you can trade in terms of instruments and assets, for instruments you have CFDs, and for assets, FTMO offers a good range. You have Forex, indices, commodities, stocks, and even crypto. So FTMO also gives you two types of accounts. The first one is a swing account, the next one is a non-swing account. The swing account lets you hold trades overnight, over the weekend, and even trade the news. Essentially no restrictions. The trade-off, however, is you get lower leverage. Now for the non-swing account, on the other hand, this gives you higher leverage, but you can hold trades over the weekend or during high impact news when you're funded. Now in terms of account sizes, you can choose from 10, 25, 50, 100, or even 200K, depending on how much capital you want to trade with. So in order for me to go over the challenge details a little bit more in depth, I'm going to have to click on this tab here, which is called Challenges. Now when I click on Challenges, you're going to see that all the challenges that FTMO offers populates. Okay, you can see we have 100K, 10K, 20K, 25, 50, so on and so forth. But if you've been paying attention, you're going to notice that there are multiple of the same accounts. So for example, we have 100K here, we have another 100K here, we have a 10K here, and another 10K here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go through and show you some of the details of these challenges and show you the differences between the two. So you can see here a 10K two-step challenge. The profit target for phase 1 is 10%. The profit target for phase 2 is 5%. The daily loss for both phase 1 and phase 2 are both 5%. Same thing for max loss, is 10% for each phase. You get an 80% profit split and 30 days for payout frequency. And then you have the price and loyalty points and things of that nature. Now when I hover over this icon here for more information, you can see this says normal challenge for 2 steps. And when I hover over the one over here, this says swing challenge for 2 steps. So essentially, you want to make sure that when you're choosing a challenge from FTMO, you just make sure to select the type of account you want. Even though it's the same account size, just make sure you choose the one that suits your trading style to avoid any headaches or surprises. Another important thing to note is things like commissions and spreads. Now, if I wanted to check for spreads, we do have a new page here, which you can click on called Spreads. You can see that there are other prop firms listed here. However, we're going to be focusing on FTMO. You can see here that the platform used to measure these spreads is MetaTrader 5, and you can see for EURUSD you have 0.9 pips, 1.7 for USD JPY, 1.5 for GBP USD, 1.6 for USD CHF, AUD/USD is 1 pip, USD CAD is 1.3, and NZD USD is 1.5. And like we mentioned earlier, it's $3 per lot. So just some information to help you get a better understanding as to, again, how funding works with FTMO. All right, so now that we've got that covered, let's go talk about some of their key rules. Again, in order for me to do this, I just have to go back to the firm page on FTMO by clicking right here. Now, when we get back to the overview, we can now scroll down and look for some of their key rules. So for example, you can see a lot of rules have been listed here, giving you as a trader more information as to exactly what FTMO prohibits and what they allow. So for example, they have rules for news trading, where it's prohibited for funded traders on non-swing accounts, meaning if you have a non-swing account, you can't trade news like we talked about earlier. It's allowed for swing accounts and allowed during evaluation. For weekend trading, holding trades over the weekend is prohibited for funded traders on non-swing accounts. Okay, capital allocation limit, 400K max capital per strategy per person, and accounts with identical trading strategies exceeding 400K in capital may be suspended. All right, third-party trading, your account must be not traded by any third party. Position sizes says that opening significantly larger or smaller position sizes or substantially different numbers of positions compared to other trades is prohibited. For forbidden trading practices, it says that the provider, which in this case is FTMO, reserves the right to determine at its discretion if certain trade practices, strategies, or situations are considered forbidden. For multiple profile accounts, opening multiple profile accounts is also prohibited. Copy trading is allowed, EAs are allowed, and the minimum trading days is 4 days. When it comes to inactivity, you must open at least one trade every 30 days to prevent account termination due to inactivity. Alternatively, you can request to freeze your account for 7 days to 6 months to avoid termination. And then lastly, they have the payout policy here, which is 80% profit split like we mentioned before. And then the scaling plan says that the requirements are a minimum of 4-month cycles, at least 10% total net simulated profit, process at least 2 rewards, and positive account balance at scale up. The other thing too is that in terms of benefits, upgraded rewards to 90%, 2 million scale up cap, and continuous increase when criteria are met. So this is all, again, really good information for you to understand, once again, how funding works at FTMO. FTMO has earned a strong reputation, especially with their high Trustpilot score, which reflects the positive experiences traders have had with them. But it doesn't stop here. On Prop for Match, they're rated excellent across the board, so let's hop over to the review section and take an in-depth look. Alright, now that we're at the review section, as you can see on this page, all the scores are great across the board. This further confirms FTMO's solid reputation among traders with consistent feedback, highlighting their reliability, transparency, and overall quality of service. So it's finally time for the instructions for the giveaway in this video, so listen up because I'm only going to say this once. But here are the instructions that essentially you've got to follow to enter today's giveaway. The first thing you got to do is like and subscribe to the channel. And the second thing you've got to do is comment something new you learned from this video about how funding works at FTMO. Best of luck to everybody. So that pretty much wraps up today's video on FTMO and how their funding works. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. And remember, if you want to enter the giveaway for free challenge accounts, make sure you follow the instructions that we gave earlier. For now, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and as always, thank you for choosing Prop for Match.